What up, what up, what up, what up? This is Mike, the philosopher, here with another ranking for the NFL games. And let me tell you, it was a wild week, a real wild week. You had some, what I would consider some upsets and some surprises and all of that. But let's get into week three. This is how I see things for week three rankings. Check this out. First up, Pittsburgh and Cleveland. And let me tell you, uh, I think this is going to be an interesting game. We'll see. We'll see what happens. First of all, I don't even know if you're going to be able to see it because it's going to be on Amazon Thursday night. That's another issue, another problem. Not sure why they started putting games on Amazon Prime on Thursdays. Hardly nobody can see it. It's just not working. Get that off, and for next year, get that off of Amazon. That being said, I'm looking at Pittsburgh to pull it off, and I think Cleveland to win the game, but I think Pittsburgh is going to cover for the game at 4.5 spread. I think that Cleveland is going to win, but I think Pittsburgh is going to cover. So I think that is probably the Cleveland just going to win by a field goal or something like that. Next up is Houston versus Chicago. Let me say, I think that Chicago is going to win, and I think they're going to cover with 2.5 points. I think that they they did get kind of smacked around by Green Bay, but I think they're going to be in for a bit of a revenge with Houston. Don't sleep on Houston though. I think that it could go either way, but I think since I believe they're going to be playing in Chicago, I think that Chicago is going to pull it off. Next game, Las Vegas Raiders versus the Titans. I actually think the Raiders is going to win this one because I think they're going to get their offense going a little bit better, and I think that the Titans really just seem a little tight this season. They seem a little like they still sleep a little bit. They really got to hand it to them in week two. They really got to hand it to them by Buffalo. And, again, look, most teams will get it handed to them by Buffalo, but they really second half. I mean, it was so lopsided they gave up second half. Henry was on the sidelines. Nothing was going right for the Titans the second half. Vrabel really was just feeling embarrassed the rest of that game. But I think that Las Vegas is going to win, and I think they're going to cover the point spread of 2.5. Next up, Kansas City versus Indy. I think that Kansas City is going to win this, and they're going to cover. I think everybody probably will pick that, mainly because Indy just got mollywopped by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Imagine what KC gonna do to you. You know what I mean? If Indy win this, I would really be surprised. But KC is an elite team right now. It's in my opinion, they're top three. So I think KC is going to beat Indy with no problem. Next up is the Buffalo Bills versus Miami. Now, I don't think that this is going to be so easy. Now, I know everybody's like, Buffalo Bills is riding high, but Miami showed me something last game. They showed me something. I can't really take hold too much weight on it because Baltimore, the Ravens really mailed it in the second half. I mean, I think that the parking, all the players went home in the second half. I mean, they hit the showers and they didn't show up in the second half. I don't know what happened. I don't know how you let Tua Tagovailoa just throw up 5 touchdowns on you. It's just like ridiculous to me. But the Ravens defense should be embarrassed by that second half effort. But all that being said, I do still think that Buffalo is going to win, and I think they're going to cover the 5.5 spread. On to the next one, which is Detroit versus Minnesota. Now, let me say, I do think that Detroit is going to win because I don't think that Minnesota has a very good, I was watching the tape and I was watching one of my favorite linebackers, Kendrick for Minnesota. I mean, this guy was, I actually even got him on one of my fantasy teams. And this guy was just, he was not tackling. He was whiffing and missing and going half effort. I'm like, what is going on with the defense? I mean, if the middle linebacker is not playing well, man, it's going to be a long day for that Minnesota defense. And I just didn't. I think that Detroit got enough offense to really dissect that Minnesota defense. So I would say Detroit is going to win, and they're going to cover the 6-point spread. Oh, I'm sorry. They actually, Minnesota has the 6-point spread, but I think Detroit is going to win outright on that one. So I think they're the people in Vegas, I don't think they got that one correct, at least in my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. Like it, love it. It's up to you. Next up, Baltimore versus New England. And I do think Baltimore is going to win. I think they're going to play a lot better this game. I know they're still going to be, trying to redeem themselves for the embarrassment they had with the Dolphins. I think that the Dolphins are better than New England, actually. So I think Baltimore is going to pull this one off, and I think they're going to cover the spread of 3 points. Or it could just be a push, to be honest. They'll either cover it or it'll be a push. I don't think that New England is going to win outright. Up next is Cincinnati versus the New York Jets. And let me say, I think that Cincinnati will win, but I think that the Jets will cover the spread. I think it's only going to be by 3 points, and the spread is 4.5 points for Cincinnati. So I think that the Jets will do enough to keep it very close, and I think only a field goal from Cincinnati is going to determine them as the winner. I don't, it's going to be a close game. At least I think so. Going to the next game, Philly versus Washington. Now, I think that Philly is going to win this one, and they're going to cover the 6.5 spread. And I think that they're just going to win it by a touchdown or more because Washington ain't got nothing for Hurts. I don't think Washington got nothing for Hurts. Although I will say that Carson Wentz is playing well with Washington, and he got some receivers he's going to connect with. So they're not going to be scoreless, but they don't have enough firepower for Philly, at least not right now. So I think Philly's going to win that one outright, and they're going to cover that spread of 6.5. Next up, New Orleans versus Carolina. Now, I think New Orleans is going to win, and I think they're going to cover the spread. Carolina is just not gelling as of right now. Neither is New England. If Carolina won this one, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised. So if you got money to bet, don't bet no money on this game, because this one literally could go either way. I had to choose a side, so I did choose New Orleans, but and I'm choosing them to cover the spread of 3 points, but it could be a push. It could Carolina could win. Just stay away from this game if you betting at all. Next up is Jacksonville versus the Chargers. Okay. And yeah, I think that the Chargers is going to win. But I think that Jacksonville will cover the spread. I don't have the spread on here, but I think that they will cover the spread because I think it's going to be closer than what people might think. I think that Jacksonville is slowly on the increase as far as, I mean, the way they played Indy was impressive. It was an eye-opener. You know, you got Trevor Lawrence back there, and you got his new receiver of Kurt, and they're connecting. Okay, they're connecting. It's not the same Jacksonville team it was last year, and people need to kind of wake up and understand that. Trevor Lawrence, it's his second year, so he's getting his feet up under him, and he got Kurt to hit him to throw it to, and you still got Robinson in the backfield, and ETN. So this is not yesterday's Jacksonville. This is today. So I think they're going to at least keep it close. I still think the Chargers is going to win, but I think that Jacksonville will keep it close, and Jacksonville will cover the spread. Next up is the LA Rams versus Arizona. Now, I think that I think that the Rams is going to win, and I think they're going to cover. But this is another game I would probably stay away from because I could probably see Arizona winning. And I know that sounds crazy, but the Rams really not showing very good defense, which is kind of surprising. They're not really showing very good Super Bowl defense. Team they played, they were right up on them last week and put up a lot of points. I mean, I guess everybody has a weakness or whatever, but this defense ain't overly impressive to me. And Arizona with Kyler Murray, once he started running, it's a problem for everybody, for every defense. Once this guy, now he can throw the ball, but once he gets his feet up under him and once he starts running, he is a problem. That's why I would stay away from this, because they do have some elite players on defense, but when you got one of the best runners in the game at QB, he can move the sticks, and LA has shown that they can be vulnerable to that. So I would stay away from this game, even though I think LA is going to win and cover. Kyler Murray, he's probably one of those guys who could probably pull it off and actually beat the Rams. And this might be one of those, one of those games that, they surprisingly took an L on. So I would stay away from this. Next game up, Atlanta versus Seattle. I would say Seattle is going to win this one, and I think that they're going to cover. I'm just not seeing a whole lot from Atlanta right now. They're not even getting their tight end involved. Kyle Pitts. For all you fantasy players who drafted Kyle Pitts, you will see this guy ain't done nothing. I know it's a young season. I know we only two games in, but he has done nothing. I'm just so uninspired by the whole season in Atlanta right now. It's just it's not going well so far. So I can't really see them beating Seattle, even though Seattle showed a little vulnerability last week too. They didn't play very well. I think they still got enough to beat Atlanta. So I would say they will win and they will cover. Next game is Green Bay versus Tampa Bay. Now, let me say, I think I know you see my hat. I know you know who I'm gonna ride with. Yeah, I'm gonna ride with Green Bay. And let me tell you, the only reason I'm riding with Green Bay is because, from what I understand, Mike Evans is going to be suspended. Okay, because he got in the fight with one of the players last week, and you know I think they both got ejected or disqualified, and they handed him down a 1-game suspension. So not to say that Tom Brady relies that heavily on just one player of Mike Evans, but I think it may be just enough for Green Bay to get over the hump and win by a field goal or so. But I think that if Green Bay don't, the reason why I don't think that Green Bay is going to win is because if they lose, it's because Aaron Rodgers is so intimidated by Tom Brady. I mean, I think he's a fan of Tom Brady, and he don't ever really think well when he's playing Tom Brady. I don't even think he won against Tom Brady in his career. So if he's so, and they're going to be, I believe they're going to be in Tampa Bay. So, I kind of want to switch it to Tampa Bay, but I'm not, because Mike Evans is not going to be there. So I'm going to still ride with Green Bay, but they're probably going to win due to them running the ball a lot. It's not going to be because of their passing. On to the next game, San Francisco versus Denver. And I think San Francisco is going to win this one. I just don't, Denver is not, they're not in sync yet. I think Russell needs some more reps with his receivers. I don't know the status of Judy. I don't know if he's going to be ready for this game. He really only got Sutton and maybe his tight end. He didn't hit his tight end at all last week, and Judy was out. I'm not sure what their identity is as far as their offense. They got some good running backs, but they can be stopped. And if they're stopped, then Denver is not going to do anything. So, and then you got to add that with the coaching. I think San Francisco is too ready right now. And plus they got Jimmy G back. I just see them winning this one, and I picked them to cover the spread. Next up is Dallas versus New York Giants. I'm actually going to go with the Giants. I think that they're going to actually pull it out. I think, Barkley is going to have a decent day. Dallas, they got Cooper Rush. I mean, I didn't think the guy would play as well as he did last week, but he played pretty well. And he wasn't dinking and dunking. He was throwing that ball up in the air, so, he seemed to be a decent enough replacement for Dak for right now. But I don't think it's going to be enough to pull off the win. I think actually the Giants is going to take it, and I think that they're going to cover. And it'd be interesting if the Giants went 3-0. I see that that's what's going to happen. So we'll see. And those are my picks for this next week, week 3. Now, for all you fantasy players out there, okay, here are some waiver wire pickups to pick up. First of all, on the list is Jimmy G. I mean, if you got any sub, like I'm in a 2-quarterback league right now. I'm in a couple leagues with 2 QBs. I had to pick up Jimmy G in a couple of them because Jimmy G is a respectable QB. He's not flashy, but he's top second tier, or I should say he's top third tier, or he's bottom second tier. You know what I mean? He's going to get you some points mainly off of Debo. Um, and he's serviceable, but I guess the problem there was he wanted too much money or whatever, and they wasn't willing to pay him that, and I don't blame him. But Jimmy G is a serviceable QB, and he's probably better than the bottom half of QBs that are playing right now. So he's if there's first, second, and third tiers, he's top. He's top of the third tier, bottom of the second tier, in my opinion. Okay. So if he's on the waiver wire, I say go pick him up if you got one of those third tier QBs. Next on the waiver wire, I think you should look at is Dotson. Okay. This guy, he plays for Washington. He's making a bit of a splash. He's doing some things. Wentz sees him, so he's throwing him the ball, and this guy is he's cashing in on a lot of those opportunities and getting a lot of points. So I would say look into Dotson. You may have to find yourself replacing Dotson with one of these other top name guys who ain't really performing right now. I wouldn't say, I would say just evaluate your situation before you pick him up, but he definitely deserves a look at. Another one is Sterling Shepard, for the Giants. I mean, this guy is balling right now. And he was a bit of a forgotten guy, especially last year. But this year he's healthy. When Sterling Shepard is healthy and he's playing with the Giants, they get him the ball. It's almost as if they got Sterling Shepard plays out there and they get him the ball. So I would say go look for Sterling Shepard again, and at least consider replacing him with one of these guys who's just not getting it done. All right. Another guy is Dortch. Dortch is balling right now, and spell out Dortch. Go look him up on the waiver wire. He's balling right now, and again, the same as these other guys, he might be somebody who you can replace with one of these so-called big names who ain't really doing nothing right now. So look into him. Another guy, Sammy Watkins. Okay, yeah, he was a forgotten guy. Came out of KC and things like that. I think he played with the Ravens too, but he with Green Bay now, and he probably could turn into Rodgers' guy. Because Rodgers loved to have a guy to rely on. And he got the ball to Sammy a couple times, and Sammy didn't let him down. So I look for more connections with them too. So you might want to take a look at Sammy Watson if he's on your waiver wire. And another guy to look at is I don't know his first name, N. Brown, but he plays with Dallas. I don't know if he's taking on Gallup's role right now, but I say the QB really loves this guy. Cooper Rush, he's getting him the ball. As long as Cooper Rush is playing and Gallup is on the sideline, I say look into Brown. If you got Gallup and you need a replacement, plug Brown in until Gallup gets healthy, and then you can plug Gallup in and maybe bench or even drop Brown. But for right now, for the next couple weeks or so, if you're desperate, I would say look into Brown. And I decided I don't want to just be up here talking, so I wanted to show you guys some of my fantasy leagues and my standings in some of these leagues, so you don't think that I'm just blowing hot air up here and not knowing what I'm talking about. So I think it's fair disclosure. I am going to show some of my fantasy leagues and some of my rankings, and show you I even got a league called BMR, okay, strictly for this channel that I named. So check that out, and so you can see, I guess you could say, check my credentials. I'm in Yahoo, I'm a diamond stat guy with my wins and losses, and I know what I'm talking about. So all that being said, hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe, okay, for more great stuff, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.